Let me do you this. You want to play games? Come on. I don't play games. I get right to it. Come on. Now turn over. See, just like that. You're chill. Turn over. Come on. Turn over. Stay over. Come on. Put your hand on me. Come on. Turn your hand on me. Turn your hand on me. It's me. You miss. It's me. Get your hand. No, he got you. I heard it. I heard something. Hey. I'm gonna do you, man. I'm gonna do you now. I'm gonna do you. Come on, slow. I'm gonna do you. Come on. Hey. Nobody faster than me. It's on me.
That always leaves me in a good mood, man. That always gives me a mood. Michael Buffer, when you ready, buddy?
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
Of course, boy. To this date.
To this day. Take a look if you know the words.
Date. To this date. Date. To this day. Yo, bro, to this day. EJ Boxing Live here with another Unsung Boxing Heroes, and we're featuring Chris Byrd. If you don't know about Chris Byrd, rapid fire Chris Byrd, I don't know where you've been, where you at. This guy is so overlooked. It's unbelievable. His achievements, are really second to none. Standing a bit and me in 6'1". Is 6'1"? Mid 6'1". What's up, YG? A 6'1". He has stories all over. We're gonna hear from him in his own words, actually. That I found and that. So another other unsung boxing heroes. I'm gonna do feature on this, man. You guys, some people like it or not, but the people, to me, one of the all-time great fighters, and didn't matter which size. I call him a giant killer. It didn't matter what size. He would go in there. Former WB heavyweight champion, former IBF champion, silver medalist at 92 gameplay, 3-time USA amateur boxing champions. Like Chris Byrd did it all, and also was seeing that little thing they don't say that is the names he beat. First man to beat Vitali Klitschko, who's in the Hall of Fame. Beat Evander Holyfield, in I believe he beat him in 2000. Beat Evander Holyfield, who later went on to beat Valuev, but he got a draw, right? Evander was still credible. I think he completely schooled Evander Holyfield. Fought Povetkin. He had a wicked fight. One of the fights that I kind of watched for me was the fight when he beat David Tua. That fight to me right here, that was amazing, because David Tua, they were saying he was like the next Mike Tyson, and he completely schooled him. And it was to me, it was just wide open. I've never seen a guy, because David, the intimidation factor. If David could hit you, he'll knock you out. And Chris Byrd, he lost against people. He lost against Wladimir Klitschko, right? And then this is back to back after fighting his brother, right? Then he lost against Ikabuchi, the president. But the David Tua fight, it was amazing. It's amazing because David Tua had a wicked fight with Ikabuchi. And Chris Byrd schooled him. I didn't expect that. The boxing world didn't expect that. I didn't expect it. Chris Byrd was a great fighter. Also, what we got here? This is the thing I think with Chris Byrd, which kind of ain't got him there. It's the fights that he didn't get more lightly. The fight with Iron Mike Tyson. See, the way he dealt with David Tua, the Mike Tyson fight would have been great for him. That would have gave him more notoriety, and plus the resume would have, it would have capped on the resume. But still, Vitali's a great first guy to beat Vitali, beat Evander Holyfield. David Tua win is great. The Mike Tyson fight, if that would happen, that would have been interesting. That would have been very interesting. I think you're thinking same thing like if if Mike Tyson lands and Chris Byrd, he's gonna get knocked out because I could bushy catch him, but we don't know. It never happened. But all we know is the slick southpaw of Chris Byrd, rapid fire. He's tricky, very tricky. And also the fight would have put him on the map for everyone else is the Lennox Lewis fight. The Lennox Lewis fight that how come it's not coming up? The picture's not coming up. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the Lennox Lewis fight, right? That's the one. Lennox Lewis said, "I'm not fighting no southpaw." Apparently he's creating fight southpaw. Lennox Lewis was at the end of his career, and Chris Byrd was Don King, and I think it was probably to spite Don King. Maybe that fight didn't happen, but Chris Byrd, he in fact Lennox Lewis gave up his belt not to fight Chris Byrd. You know what I mean? Because he was Banshee, and it's a shame. It's a shame because you know, if he had that fight with Lennox Lewis, he would have said, yeah, because he was definitely round the top #1 or the guy around in heavyweight division. It's just that it's a southpaw. He wasn't really knocking a lot of guys over, but he was very tricky. And Lennox Lewis didn't want that kind of awkward fight. But, you know, the Vitali fight, to be fair, I don't think Lennox really wanted the Vitali fight, but he had no other option. Had to fight because I think it was Kirk Johnson pulled out and then he brought in. You know what I mean? He probably going to be either him or Vitali, you know what I'm saying? And he had the Vitali fight, and Lennox Lewis retired, but he vacated the belt before that because he didn't want to fight Chris Byrd. So the Southpaw didn't get the fight with two of the legends that Evander Holyfield. He got one of them. He got Evander Holyfield, but he didn't get the other two. And in terms of more notoriety, Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson, especially around that era, they capped that era. They were the most popular fighters of that kind of era. So it's a shame, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's hear Chris Byrd in his own words, yeah, about his fight with Wladimir Klitschko. That'll be the first story. He got Chris Byrd, so we're gonna hear in his own words of Chris Byrd in his own story against that. So let's fight Chris Byrd. Oh, here we go. Here, right.
How you doing out there? What a great day this is. Chris Byrd with another true story. Wladimir Klitschko. Oh my goodness, I was so excited to fight Wladimir Klitschko. After beating Vitali, after he quit after the 9th round, I get a call. They said, we want you to fight Wladimir Klitschko. I'm like, Wladimir Klitschko? I was just thinking. I was excited, but at the same time, I'm like, so if Vitali would have won, he'll be fighting his brother next because he was #1 contender now. I'm like, how is this possible? But oh well, let's do it. It was in Cologne, Germany. Scheduled for it was in October, I think 13th of 2000. I'm ready to go. Training camp was great. It's time to get beat both Klitschko brothers. I could have been automatic in the Hall of Fame right there. Put me in the Hall of Fame right there. Right after I beat him, put him in the Hall of Fame because I'm like, I beat both of them. I'm like, okay, it's time to train for this. Let's get in shape. It come. Now it's time to go to Germany. Camp over. Felt great. Go to Germany. Same crew. You know, my parents, my family. We are a small crew. Always went. We go to Germany. We get to Germany. It's for Germany and fighting in Germany for me. Only a week. Only there for a week. I fought there 5 times. And we arrive on Sunday, fight the next Saturday. But I only recover on Thursday. That's when the jet lag is finally shedding on that Thursday, and I'm ready to fight. So weigh-in come on that Friday. Weigh-in comes on Friday. It's all good. My crew there, their crew there. It's good. He weighs in. He weighs in first. He takes his shirt off. Everybody in my crew, we look at him like this. Even me. I'm like, goodness. He's 239 pounds, all muscle, ripped to shreds, ready to fight, ready to revenge his brother's loss. And I'm looking at him like, okay, now it's my turn to weigh in. I weigh like 212, soft. Everybody in the crowd like, he about to get killed. He about to look at this. But they kind of know me, I guess, from fighting his brother. So I got a small chance to do something. Next day, fight day. I'm nervous as heck. I'm just remembering, dang, all day, all night, the night before. All I'm thinking about is, Wladimir Klitschko, look how big he is. His arms are huge. He's 6'7", tall, big. I'm like, I gotta fight another Klitschko again. Okay, it's fight day. Let's get it in. Fight come about. Boom. Get in the ring. They laugh at me again. People start laughing like, look at this. I guess the people didn't know those people that laughed, I guess they didn't notice that I beat his brother like 6 months prior to that. They're laughing at me. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put in work again, just like I did against his brother. Ding, bell ring. Man, totally different fighter. Wladimir standing tall, standing taller, much stronger. Amazing jab, keeping me at bay. I'm trying to use all my tricks, do all this stuff. I'm hanging in there, but I'm slowly losing each round. 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds go by, and I'm like, man, I think I'm losing every round. He's just slowly outpointing me, taking his time, and I'm barely getting hit, but I noticed something. After the 4th round, both of my eyes are swelling up. I'm like, I'm not getting hit that much. What's happening? I mean, I'm noticing this in the fight, and you notice it in the fight because the swelling around your eyes, you're like, dang. As the fight keep going on, I'm slowing down, getting hit a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. My eyes, man, my whole face just swelling up like crazy. He's just battering me. I can't see. The second half of the fight, the vision was blurred a lot. I'm getting hit. I'm getting battered. Man, in the 9th round, at the end of the 9th round, I get hit right on the side. Boom. I didn't see it coming. My eyes swell. Down I go. I get up, try to shake it off, slip a few punches. He come at me after I beat the count. Boom. I started going to the corner. I went to the wrong corner. My father had to run over there and pull me. And I felt a hand on my shoulder. And I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong corner. I can barely see. So I go back to my corner. And I'm like, my father I'm hearing him talking. Hey, you got to keep your hands up. You got to do this, in a little bit of a panic. And I'm sitting there like, man, I'm about to lose my belt. But I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit. I could have quit at that moment. I'm getting beat up. I'm down almost every round. I said, forget that. So we come out 10th round. I start bouncing a little bit, boxing like I'm winning. So I'm going boxing. Got through the 10th round, another round. I'm like, okay, I'm still in this. 11th round come. Boom, get hit with another big one. Down I go again. Uh-oh. And then I get up. And I'm watching this. This is what I noticed. I'm watching this yesterday. I've noticed that my father is coming up the stairs. And my brother pulling down. No, Dad, no, pull him down. Like, no, don't stop the fight. Let him go out. Almost made me want to cry. Let him go out on his shield. Let him go out on his feet. He'll fight. He'll keep fighting. My brother was like, no, don't. Nobody do that to my father. My father runs a corner. Nobody do that to him. And he was like, oh, let him fight. So I was like, oh, step down I go. I get up. I'm like, oh, forget that. I got to finish. I have to. So even the last round, when you see the last round, I think Vlad didn't want to knock me out. I think he was like, man, he took this for 11 rounds. I'm gonna let him survive. He just touch. I already won the fight. I ain't gonna hurt him. And boom, the fight ends, and I lose a horrible decision. I mean, when you get the scores 120, 107, you're like, dang, that's more. That's 13 rounds. It's like 12 rounds in a fight. You get beat, but. Out of all that, I didn't quit. Watch a fight. You can watch it on YouTube. You like, man, he got battered. Eyes swelled, almost closed. It was like a Rocky movie. On the ropes, trying to fight. But I didn't quit. And that's life. We don't give up. Don't give up on nothing. If you start something like January 1st, everybody has their What were they gonna do for the year? This is what I'm changing this. I'm doing this. Don't give up. Don't give up on that. We're like 3 or 4 days into the year. Some people are already giving up. No, the whole year. The December 31st should be where, okay, I did it. I did a whole year. I set a goal for myself. I reached it. I didn't give up. I had a guy that came up to me in the airport the day after the fight, and he looked at me. Damn, this made me want to cry too. He looked at me. He said, man, courage. He just said, courage. Wow. He said, I seen the fight. Don't put your head down. He said, put your head down. He said, keep your head up, man. Look what you took. Look how big that guy was. You hung in there 12 rounds. You just showed the world, especially like in boxing, you don't quit. You don't give up on nothing. And I'm like, that's a good point. So my message to you, never give up. You never give up. Get to the highest level. Get what you want in life. Signing out, Chris Byrd.
Yo, man, it's deep, boy. That story is deep, boy. 100%, man. You see, hear from the champ himself. You know what I mean? Never quit, never give up, man. Boy, man. Wow, that's something, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? That's a real hard story, man. So we're gonna continue this journey, you know, with Chris Byrd and stuff like that, man. Like I said to you, man, this guy, unsung hero. You heard of his own word against Wladimir, man. You fight one brother, he's right. He beat both brothers in the Hall of Fame, but he went 12 rounds, you know. Wladimir eased up on him in the last round, but sheesh, his face was swelling up. So he's saying he was upset that his dad was gonna throw the towel in, but I guess was his brother right to do that? I don't know, but his brother, he's like Chris Byrd, the dad runs the corner, so we'll see. Man, we'll see. We're gonna play now. We're gonna play some more, man, in tribute to Chris Byrd. Not in tribute because he ain't passed away here, right? So is these unsung heroes. So hope you guys enjoying it. If you are, press the, as you can see on the screen, the like button. Appreciate, share the video around, you know what I'm saying? I'd appreciate. So let's get to another story of Chris Byrd.
How are you doing today? This is Chris Byrd with another true story. You ever have somebody that surprised you, they come into a room and just surprise you, you be like, oh my goodness. That happened to me back in 1992. I got selected to carry the American flag, a huge American flag. It was 6 of us. We carried the American flag around the Georgia Dome. They were it had a celebration for the 1996 Olympics. And I was so excited. I was like, this is crazy. Georgia Dome is huge. We're in Atlanta. We're having a great time. We're at rehearsal, so we have the 6 of us have to carry this big flag, so we have to rehearse and go over it and how to lay the flag out. I mean, it was huge. So during rehearsal, we got it down pat. Finally got it down pat. We go back to the room. We just sitting there talking, laughing, talking about our sports. Vernon Forrest, my Olympic teammate, may he rest in peace. He passed away. He was one of the guys there, where it was women and men Olympians. And we just sitting there talking, everything good, laughing. Somebody walk in the door, open the door, come in. We all look. It's Whitney Houston. I was like, me and Vernon looked at each other. We were like, oh my goodness. We were all silent. We just froze. It was a mic in there. They had it all set up for it. We didn't notice it. It was just sitting there. She walked in, didn't even clear her throat, nothing. She sung One Moment in Time. That was the anthem for the 1992 Olympics, the Olympics I was in. I was like, wow. Me and Vernon looked at each other again. We looked, and we both had tears in our eyes. We were like this. Wow. She didn't even clear her throat. I mean, she sung it. I was like, wow, right in front of us. She got done, talked to us afterwards. I was like, this is Whitney Houston talking. What? She talked to us, was the nicest ever. I'm telling you, that was a great moment in my life. I think she slipped her number in my back pocket. I don't know, because later on that night, when I reached my back pocket, yeah, it's Whitney. I was like, really? No, I'm just kidding. That's not a part of the true story. But true story, Whitney Houston. And what I got from Whitney was how she treated us. You know, it was, she's at the highest level, at the highest, but she still treated us like we were just normal people. And I loved it. And I'm like, I really take a notice to that, and I took a seat back. I said, if I ever make it in this one life, I'm going to treat people just like you would want to be treated all the time, right? So being a celebrity, non-celebrity, being famous, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the way you treat people. You want to be treated good, treat somebody good. It's Chris Byrd signing out. True story.
100%, man. Chris Byrd, the champ, boy. Yeah, man. Boy, Chris Byrd is laying it down, giving us these stories, and I hope you guys enjoying them, man. Chris Byrd, what a legend, man. What a legend, boy. All right, let's get some more in.
Chris Byrd here. How are you doing today? I want to tell you a true story. I got a true story for you. But before that, I want to give a shout out to the young men in Temecula where I went training today. In Temecula, California, about 45 minutes away. Went to train with Robert at the Wildlife Gym with his son and his boxers. Christian, Ralphie, Robert, and Charles Blake, who I spar with. Man, I give a shout out to Christian, Ralphie. Well, I give a shout out to all of them. They all did. I mean, it surprised me. I haven't been there in 3 weeks. So I'm thinking, okay, I go back and spar, do my thing. They're bringing it to me. I'm like, man, what y'all been watching? What y'all been taking? What y'all been doing? They're getting better and better. I told by the end of the year, something special will happen. We're at the beginning of this year. So at the end of the year, progress. They're going to be really that good. Shout out to them. It was special today in the sparring. Shout out to them. I have a true story. True story. I want to talk about my Olympic teammates. Montel Griffin. He's a light heavyweight. He was a light heavyweight on our team. Montel Griffin is one of them. Montel, before the Olympics, he had nowhere to train. He went on an international trip with my father and asked him on the trip, hey, can I come and train with you guys for the Olympic trials? My father, gracious as ever, he ain't gonna never say no. He said, yeah, you come train with us. No biggie. So he comes to Michigan to train. Wow, I got to train with my brother Patrick, who's trying out for the Olympics, and Montel Griffin, who's trying. What major great sparring did I have? Man, I was so excited. Montel Griffin is at my house for 2.5 months. And I was amazed by Montel because he wasn't in the amateur system. Who is this guy? He's 5'7", fighting at light heavyweight, a weight class above me. I'm 6'1.5". 5'7", dominating, super. His defense is on point. He can box. He's smart. 1 year, Montel Griffin told me he was watching boxing on TV with some friends, drinking. Had a drink in his hand. 30 pounds overweight, 35 pounds overweight. He said that his boys teased him and said, well, he told his boys, I box. And his boys teased him and said, yo, fat, you don't know how to box. This is a year and a half before the Olympics. And he told them, I bet you I can beat them. I bet you I can beat those guys. And these were the top guys in the nation. This man makes the Olympic team. He brings, I'm like, Montel Griffin, he comes and proved them wrong. He made it. That's Montel Griffin. That was one of my Olympic teammates. My other Olympic teammate from Chicago also, Donnell Doc Nicholson. Even more special. So Donnell, he makes the Olympic team. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is he? I've been on the national team for 4 years. I just now see him. I mean, I see him at the training camp. I'm like, who is this guy? He's sparring. He's a big guy. He was at the training camp the Olympic Training Center after the U.S. Championships. I seen him there, and then he makes the Olympics. I'm like, who is this guy? Now he's my roommate. I'm like, okay, we're roommates. He started talking. He pulls out a box under the bed, and he's talking to us. We're in there talking, laughing in our room in Barcelona. He goes under his bed, pull out a box, and said, "Hey guys, I gotta tell you something." I'm like, what? I was in prison for 5 years. I was like this. I was in total shock. Not because he was in prison. Prison, okay, people come out, go to prison, come out, they do whatever. I was in shock that he made the Olympic team in almost less than a year. How is that possible? I've been boxing my whole life. I make it. I've been boxing my whole life. My brother been boxing longer than me. He didn't make it. This man boxing for a little bit over a year, and he makes the Olympic team. We're Olympic. They're my Olympic teammates. Both of them. Montel Griffin loses in the quarterfinals of the Olympics. We call it robbery in boxing when something happened that he was fighting the world champion. At the last moment, he get a point taken away, which is 3 points at the time, and lose. He would have won 7-6. He lose 6-4. Donnell Nicholson in the quarterfinals of the Olympics. I'm like, he wins 2 fights. He came from prison. He beat 2 guys. He's in the quarterfinals with the great Felix Savone. Felix Savone hasn't lost up until that point since 1985. Nobody beats Felix. He wins everything. He fighting Felix. Me and Montel going crazy because going into the last round, it's an even fight. I'm like, this is Felix Savone, 10-time world champion, wins everything. Donnell Nicholson is giving him the business. Olympics. Donnell probably have 20 fights under his belt. Felix Savone is 10-time world champion. Nobody beats Felix. They going down to the wire. Me and Montel going bananas. Even though Montel already lost, he's like, my boy is fighting. Oh my, I can't believe the biggest upset ever. This is the only fight I ever seen in Olympic computer scoring that they now allowing they scoring body shots. They score body shots for Felix Savone. He wins. No way in heck. If you watch the fight, he won that fight. He came from nowhere. That would have been the biggest upset in all sports, not just boxing, all sports. Oh my goodness, this guy come from prison and he's in the quarterfinals with Felix Savone giving him the business. Felix was so mad in the fight. He was sitting in the corner. So he's like, who is this American guy? Felix had beat all the American heavyweights easy. And get in a fight with a man that he never seen before. I barely knew him. And give him the business and almost beat him. Shout out to the Doc Nicholson and Montel Griffin. It was a pleasure having you guys as roommates. Thank you. Love you guys.
Yo, bro, that's amazing. I'm gonna check that out, bro. I'm gonna check that out, champ. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Darnell Doc Nicholson against Felix Savone. I'm gonna put that in my watch playlist. I'm gonna put that in my playlist to go watch that one. So we can check for ourselves, man. We can find out for ourselves. That's what I love about these unsung heroes. You know what I'm saying? Wow, man. You know what I'm saying? EJ Boxing. Who there? Okay, yeah. That's what we love about these unsung heroes. You know what I'm saying? Great, man. Oh my days, boy. Wow. Yeah. You had Emmanuel Stewart training him when he was a pro. Oh yeah. How did he do? How did he do, Mr. Boxing today? Wow, man. Wow. You know what I'm saying? That's I gotta check him out, man, in the Olympics though. I really want to see that fight in the Olympics. Emmanuel Stewart was a pro, but hey, this is what I'm saying about these stories with Chris Caberzi, man. You know what I'm saying? They got stories for days. He's so good, man. I ain't like. I enjoy watching Chris Bird. I think if he was fighting for England, he would have got more adulation. You know, sometimes you help the crowd adulation does help. It really does. You know what I'm saying? It really does. All right, we can get some more stories from the champ. Hey, listen, the slick one, the elusive one, rapid fire Chris Byrd. Let's get some more stories from him. Chris Byrd, boy, wow, that story was good. That was a great story. There's some more.
What is your goal? What is it? It's 2021. What is your goal? Mine is you. Honestly, I've been getting requests of true story videos. I want more true story videos. I'm like, okay, I'll give you more. I've been in boxing since I was a little boy, so I have all kind of stories. And I'm super busy right now. It's crazy, especially with training and prepare for a comeback. But you're important, honestly, because this is like it makes my day. It inspires me when I hear the feedback from you guys. And man, I'm getting this. I'm doing this. I'm training them. Man, that is so inspiring. I mean, I love it, and I'm gonna keep giving you the stories every day. So I want to talk about one thing is just setting goals for 2021. Man, setting goals. 3 years ago, I was in a lot of pain. I mean, I was in a lot of pain a year ago, but 3 years ago, I was in a lot of pain. And this thought came in my mind. Come back to boxing. Like, come back to boxing. I'm in all this pain. I'm going to come back to boxing. Go out in the garage and start hitting the bag. At that time, I couldn't even raise my arms. I am being dead serious. My hip, I had a hip replacement. My hips were hurting. My other hip needed replaced. I had nerve damage in my foot. My shoulders were going crazy. And I went in the garage. I'm limping. And I was like, forget that. I'm going to try it. And I started hitting the bag, literally like this. I could barely move I was in so much pain. But that day led to this moment right now. And this moment going to lead to many more major moments. Just, hey, you got to set a goal. When you set a goal for yourself, chase that goal. Keep going for it. Get to the highest level. Don't have nobody say anything. If they say something to you, oh, well, okay. Thank you for the motivation. If it's negative, thank you for the motivation. That's how you have to say. And keep doing your thing. 2021, let's get it. I don't care what situation you're in. Let's get to a higher level. Let's make it 2021. Hey, I'm the world champ, and we all gonna make it together. What's your story? What's your comeback story? 2021. Let's get it. So, true story. Very true story. I'm getting ready to fight 2001. I had nothing. I had lost to Wladimir Klitschko, lost to Ike Ibeabuchi first, Wladimir Klitschko. I had 2 losses, and I'm not a popular heavyweight. I'm small. I'm not a big puncher or nothing. So my lawyer calls me. He said, hey, you have a fight now. This guy called you out. I had never been called out ever. Nobody don't call me out. My skill said nice. I'm like, somebody called me out? Who was that? It was Maurice Harris. He called me out. I was like, what? Somebody called me out. I was like, okay. So I told my lawyer, I said, he told me the particulars of the fight. It's for the number 2 spot in the IBF. It's in the IBF tournament, 4-man tournament, the top 4. So it was David Tua, Donnell Nicholson, my Olympic teammate, me, and Maurice Harris. Me and Maurice Harris fought first. Nobody wanted to fight him. Nobody wanted to fight me. So he calls me out. I'm like, what? So when I went to go tell my father at the gym, that's when all hell broke loose. Because my father was like this. My mother was right there too. She didn't say nothing. She just listened. But my father was like, I don't want you to fight. I'm like, what? You gotta be kidding. He said, no, it's not a good fight for you right now. That kid can fight. He's really good. Another loss means you're gonna be down in the dumps. It's gonna be hard to get fights. It's already hard to get fights now. And so I took that as, you don't think I can win? I had to look at my father and go, what? I can beat that man. What, you don't think I can win? We started going at it. That's the only time me and my father really like went at it over a fight. And I'm like, and to me, I felt like, well, you don't think I can win? I can beat anybody. So that day, I was so upset. I hit the bag, scraped my knuckles, both knuckles, all the skin off them. I was hitting the bag so hard, I didn't care. Went home, knuckles messed up. They had the fight. I agreed to fight them. They had to cancel it because my knuckles were messed up. So they put it on another card. And throughout, it was the most awkward training camp because I knew my father really didn't want this fight. And my mom was on the fence. She was just like, that's my husband. But my mom is always like this. I know my son. I know him. I just know my mom. She's like, I never doubt him. Just my father at that time, he's just like another lost man, is destroyed. I'm like, I'm not gonna lose. What are you talking about? So fight comes around. We're in training camp, great training camp. I'm ready to fight. It was in New York City, Madison Square Garden. So fight comes up. It's fight time. I'm nervous as heck for this fight. For this particular fight, honestly, in my career, I probably worried about him more than any fighter I fought because of his skill set and what he could do in the ring. So I'm like, New York City. Me and my brother Patrick in Manhattan, we landed in New York City. This is crazy. We go to the hotel. There's a store right by the hotel, right like less than a block away. Me and my brother go to the store. We're in the store. Guess who walks in? Maurice Harris. I was like, oh, snap. My brother looked at me like, oh, Maurice right there. So we both look at each other. It was like, it was like a what's up. But I was like, that's a different one. That's not like a mean what's up because it seemed like he was mean online. When he was talking, I'm gonna get Chris Byrd, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, nobody will talk like that against me. But he was cool. When we first met, I was like, okay. And then 2 days later, fight time. My father, I have never seen him like that nervous before a fight. Like he was really concerned, like super concerned. Usually he's so relaxed. Okay, Chris, you're gonna do his thing, you're gonna make a miss, slip, do whatever stuff. In this fight, he's like, he came in my room before the fight. We sat down, talked about it. I'm like, this is serious. Wow. Then I get in the fight, 12-round fight, doing my thing. I knew how important this fight was. If I win, I fight David Tua next. And then that fight gets me to Lennox Lewis. This is where I want to be in my life. Boom. We fight 12 rounds. Great fight going back and forth. We do our thing, but I was too much, making him miss. And in that fight, I stayed in the pocket, taking it to him, making him miss. And I proved to him what I can really do. My father knew I was good. He said, my son good. But that was one time I got to prove to my father, I can do this. I could beat anybody on this planet. And then I went on to beat Evander Holyfield. David Tua, then Evander Holyfield after that. And my father looked at me like, you are a real heavyweight now. You are that good. I got to give it to you. I was like, Pop, it's like that sometimes. I don't understand how you being a parent and your son is boxing. Of course, you're going to be very concerned about all kind of guys. Everybody's bigger than me. But I know what I have in me. And that's a lot of heart. I don't give up. It's about getting to the highest level. It's about making your dreams come true. Nothing can stop you here. Nothing. Nobody can beat me. That's what I say to myself every day while I'm running, while I'm hitting the bag, while I'm doing whatever. I'm tearing up over this. How bad do you want it in your one life? Let's get it. Let's get it, people. Don't worry about all this stuff. Let's get it. One life.
Yo, boy, these stories are they're moving, touching stories, man. But as the champ said, boy, I couldn't see why his dad doubted him though, because the losses from the Ika Butcher fight and the losses from the what's his name, the Klitschko fight, you'd have to believe that, yo, that's not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good idea. So I can see why his dad had apprehension. And then Maurice Harris is tall. I think Mr. James Alibashir was with him, coaching him at the time. And yeah, so yeah, man. But you see what he went on to do. You know what I'm saying? He believed in himself. So, his dad trained him, but he believed in it. Ali had the same thing when he fought Foreman. His train, they didn't believe in Ali couldn't beat him, but he pulled it off, man. And EJ, while you're checking out the 92 games, yeah, watch Roberto, what's it? Odwell versus the Cuban who won super heavyweight. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, he basically 6 foot bare, pound schooling a bigger guy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, Mr. Boxing Day. If you don't know, boy, make sure you subscribe to Mr. Boxing today. Heavyweight boxing is his domain. That's where he thrives at. He covers other boxing, but heavyweight's mostly specialist heavyweight boxing. So check out Mr. Boxing today here on YouTube. For the people viewing it here on Periscope and Facebook, make sure you subscribe to Mr. Boxing Today 2 on YouTube. Appreciate it, man. That's one fight I'm gonna put into my thing. Roberto Oswald. Was it Baldwell? Has he got the Cuban from Cuba? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. But I tell you, man, these stories. He got some more from the champ. You know what I'm saying? Got some more stories from the champ. But yeah, the Evander Holyfield fight, man. Is just most people see the commentators, they real bad, man. They real bad. You know what I mean? They real bad. Like instead of like encouraging the fight fans, this is master boxing, they tend to tear it down. His goal was to fight Lennox Lewis, you see. Chris Byrd want to be the best, but politics prevailed. He didn't get it. We talk about murderer's row, but this is a tragedy. One of the most skillful boxers in the sport, and people just don't want to fight him. They don't want to fight him, but the guys he did fight, you won't give him his credit. You gonna give him his credit. Yep, Bashir was in his corner. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 100%, bro. I mean, I could call Chris Byrd after this, but I've talked to him before, and and talk about. But I think the Chris Byrd, he's trying to get his health back right now. Like you said, he was going through some real hard times. He's trying to build back his body. So these are these stories, Chris Byrd's stories. It's not as that, but I can interview him. I've interviewed him a few times actually. I actually talked to him on the Parnell Whitaker thing, but he's one of my favorite fighters. I love the way he fights. He's very good. He's like for any fighter watching him, he knows how the art of making you hit and make you miss, hit and not get hit. Like when I think Chris Byrd, he stays in the pocket. No, real masterful boxer. All right, let's hear some more stories from my man Chris Byrd.
Happy New Year out there. Happy 2021. Chris Byrd here. Man, just thinking 2020 is over. It's over. COVID was here, but in 2020 started off pretty bad, but then gradually throughout the year it got better. And with me, I like to score every month like it's a championship fight. Championship fights are 12 rounds. So it's 12 rounds in a month. Mm-hmm. I examine every month. Starting off in January, like I said, it was kind of rocky, and then it gradually picked up. So I score those rounds. I score it. Like if it was bad, then that's a 10-9 round. I lost. That's in boxing. It's 10-9. I lost a round. Sometimes you get knocked down. That's a 10-8 round. Sometimes I might knock life down. That's a 10-8 round for me. I'm up. That's how I score it. I mean, boxing is just such a part of my life, but I use it in my life so I can win more rounds in life, so I can be the champion in life. And that's how I just live it. Every month, setting a goal, trying to win a round, then score it at the end of the year. Like 2020, I looked at my phone, I'm up. This is the first year I've been up in 11 years. 11 years because I was in chronic pain. And that's when I started scoring. And I'm like, man, I'm not winning nothing. First year I'm up. Let's get it. Set goals. 2021. Set that goal, set them high. Let's get to the highest level. Let's get there together. Post your goals. I want to see it. I want to be inspired by it too. I just don't want to inspire you. I want to be inspired and go crazy. Man, look at that. Look what he did. Look what she did. Like Jimmy Guerrera, my man Jimmy Guerrera. Oh my goodness, losing the weight. I seen you in the hospital, laying. You was look scared, and now look at you, getting back in fight shape. Let's get it. That's just one, and there's many out there. Post your story. Post your comeback story. Whatever your comeback story is, inspire everybody. Let's get it. Let's see who has the best story. By the end of the year, let's see who finish out what you started January 1st. December 31st, where are you going to be? Are you going to be better? Are you going to be off the drugs? Are you going to lose the weight? Are you going to have a better job, make more money? What are you going to do? Are you going to be better? That's what it's about. Let's get it.
That's right. That's right. That's right, champ. You know what I'm saying? Motivation, dedication. That's what it's about, man. You know what I'm saying? 100%, man. You gotta put that work in, and yeah, 100%. I agree with him, man. Let's get some more stories in. Let's get some more stories from the chat.
Hello, Facebook family and friends. This is Chris Byrd. I've been noticing that I've been getting a lot of friend requests lately on Facebook, and Facebook only allowed 5,000. 5,000. I'm like, really? But over on Instagram, you can hit me over there. And my Instagram tag is Chris_Byrd_boxing. That's Chris_Byrd_boxing. And you can hit me over there, and that'd be great. Because I would love to hear from you, love to follow your journey like you following mine if you are. If you're not, start following it, and I'll follow yours. But it'd be great. And then go over to YouTube. I'm going to start the Bird's Eye View. It should be started back up again. I used to have it a few years ago. Now I'm going to start it back up. You can hear real stories of boxers, of non-boxers, of people that make it to the highest level, everything. It's going to be a great show. Hit me over there on YouTube. It's coming soon. And we'll keep you posted. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I really love this story coming up with him and Jamil McCline. It tells you the mentality that Chris Byrd had when he coming into this fight here. So I really enjoyed this story here.
Hey, Chris Byrd here, two-time heavyweight boxing champion. How are you doing today? I have a true story. Heavyweight division. I was friends with a lot of guys in the heavyweight division. I was champion at the time. I was friends with Jamil McCline. He was number 3 contender at the time. And we were really cool. We would hang out, we would chill, we would laugh together, talk about boxing. So he's number 3 contender. I'm champion. I get a call from him one day, and he says, Chris, I have a dilemma. They want me to fight you. I'm like, what? And he said, what do you think? I said, man, I would take it. Why would you take the fight? This may be the only time in your life you get to fight for a heavyweight title. Now, I'm saying all this, and this is against me. And I want to tell him, man, go train hard, man. Do your best. I hope you win the fight. But it's against me. So he hang up. He's like, okay, I guess I'll take it. So he takes the fight. Come fight time. Weigh in. Jamil McCline. I'm champion, so I weigh in last. He weigh in first. He gets on the scale 270. Everybody in the room, like, ooh. I get on the scale. I weigh 214. Now I'm full. I drunk a gallon of juice. I drunk water. I eaten everything. I'm so full. And I topped that at 214. I had my shoes, my socks, and my sweats on. I had my top off, my shirt off, so it looked like I had nothing on. And we weighed in on Thursday because it was all heavyweights fighting on Thursday. Come Saturday morning, I get on the scale. I always weigh myself the day of the fight. I weigh 204.6 pounds, 204.6. And this is Saturday morning. We get in the ring. Now it's fight time. We get in the ring. I look across the ring and I'm like this. Oh my goodness. Now 2 days had passed. He weighed 270. It looked like he weighed 290 now. I'm like, goodness. I think this is the only fight my father ever that I've seen. He went through the ropes as you go. They say seconds down, so the coaches go out of the ring. He went through the ropes. He looked back. He looked back at Jamil. Then he looked at me like, oh my goodness. My son is about to get slaughtered. Like, look at this monster he's fighting. And that's the only fight I ever thought. That's the first time I ever thought in my mind, how did my parents think? Because my mother was in the corner too. And if my father was looking like that, imagine how my mother looked. Man, bell ring, we get into the fight. I'm like, man, he's bigger than I thought. He's 6'6", 270. Athletic, big, strong. He hit me. I'm like, goodness, he better than I thought. Second round, we come out, same thing. At the end of the second round, I'm fighting. I'm on the ropes, of course, because I'm a small guy. He pushed me to the ropes, and he just throwing the wind around, and one of his shots landed. Down I go. I thought I fell on my face. That's how hard he hit me. I just touched the knee. I get up. I'm like, man, I survived the round. I go back to the corner, and my father, I think he's probably chewing me out. Man, keep your hands up. Get up. Get off the rope. I can't get off the ropes. Jamil's coming. Third round, doing the same thing. By the fourth round, I'm down. I think I'm down with a knockdown, maybe 5 rounds, 4 or 5 points. I'm like, man, I'm going to lose my belt. But I can't. That's my boy. I can't lose to my boy. In that fight, it felt like me and my brother Patrick sparring in the basement. We used to go at it. And me and Jamil went in. I had to come back in that fight. Boom. And I just started coming, came back working, doing my thing. And 12th round, bell ring, ding. I'm like, oh my goodness. Did I keep my belt? I'm like, oh, I think he might have beat me. And this is Jamil's words. Right after the fight, he said, man, you whooped my ass. My ass. So I ain't going to say the word, but you whooped my butt. And I was like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. You just beat me. You probably took my belt. And then the scorecard, they announced it. Winner by majority decision. I won the fight. Oh my goodness. I eked it out. And later on, a couple years later, Jamil come up to me and say, when we met in Florida, actually, he said, man, that fight was closer than I thought it was when we were in the ring. You know, I could have won that fight. I said, I told you that. You could have won it. But it was a 56-pound difference in the fight. At that time, it was the biggest ever. 56 pounds. Boxing is about weight. 1 pound you can get fined in a world title fight over $100,000 or more. Or the fight would be canceled. And boxers gripe over 1 pound. 56 pounds. Oh my goodness. And a lot of my fights like that. And that's one time, like I said, what my parents think? What did they think about every time I fought fighting these big guys? But you got to do what you got to do. Mind over matter. It doesn't matter what size he is, no matter how big, whatever. Big, size, height, weight, whatever. It doesn't matter. How bad do you want it? Let's get it.
Wow. You see, you heard it from the man himself, man. You have to be motivated to do that, man. Like, when you're giving up much power, especially in the heavyweight division, that's a lot of weight, man. That is tremendously a lot of weight Chris Byrd's giving up, man. But, you know, he building himself back up again and getting himself strong. And that's what it's about, man. Never giving up and, you know, putting the energy back into yourself. Man, he used to spar with his brother in the basement. So that's to tell you the dedication. You know what I mean? You know, sparring with his brother downstairs, his mom and dad in the corner. How many, like, his record, like, Chris Byrd's record is phenomenal, right? Was it 41 with 41 wins with 22 knockouts? He got 5 losses, 4 of them by KO. We want that, man. But he want to giving up so much weight, man. Giving up so much weight. It's amazing. So that's why he Unsung's hero 100%. Hope you guys enjoyed this unsung hero on Chris Byrd, man. But that's why he's my all-time favorite fighter, man. The Mike Tyson fight, I mean, he would have took the fight. I think Mike Tyson, it would have, you know, people may remember him better in this day because Mike Tyson still carrying. I mean, he fought the other day against Roy Jones and he still gets a lot of numbers. And Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson, they done better numbers of Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield always is good because it's the dance partners, right? But, you know, with Chris Byrd, like, you know, the Mike Tyson fight would have been interesting. And 100% the Lennox Lewis fight, you know, 2 former Olympians and stuff like that would have been good. And Lennox Lewis didn't want it. He vacated the belt. And Chris Byrd didn't get his shot. Lennox still going to the Hall of Fame. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you finish career, you want to be rewarded and respected. And a man who gave up that much weight, a southpaw, amazing, man. So, you know, salute to Chris Byrd and all his achievements, you know, all of his achievements in boxing. And that's why Chris Byrd is one of the unsung boxing heroes, in my opinion. Shout out to Chris Byrd, man. So, yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Chris Byrd in his own ways, like he said, he's gonna start doing stuff on his YouTube channel at some point. So yeah, that's it, man. I'm EJ Boxing Live, and I'm out, man. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Message to all the fans watching it, wish them a Merry Christmas, and also why should they watch the fight?
You should watch this fight because this is what boxing's all about. This is about putting your O on the line. This is about putting what you believe on the line. You think you can win? Step up in the big fights and let's see it. You can talk the talk, but when the lights come on and you walk out the O2 Arena into a little ring 20 foot by 20 foot to fight another man, this is the pureness of the sport. Why boxing is the greatest sport in the world, bar none. Let's build the hype, let's watch the excitement, and let's see the purity of British boxing explode and unfold February the 3rd, O2 Arena.
Thanks very much, Eddie.
Don't waste your breath on a traitor. Let's finish him off.
Just you have a try. You want any match for me, you dog?
Son of a bitch!